Good morning, everybody. Just getting the last phone set up. So yeah, we're here, January 10th, and we're about to go into the greenhouses after we chat for a moment. Got my cup. So hope you got your coffee this morning. We are ready to get started in a time that is normally a little bit slower for gardening, but with the weather being the way it is, there are some things you could be doing right now in your garden, in your landscape, whether you are a ornamental gardener, flower beds, or if you are someone that does veggie gardening. There's things you can be doing in January, unless you live, up north where the ground is just covered in snow. But down here in Texas, there's gardening to be had. Yeah, the greenhouse is a good place to be in wintertime because it's cold out there today, but we'll head back into the greenhouses and you'll see that it's nice and warm back there and things are growing. So a couple things to be looking out for. One would be it's getting time to put pre-emergent down on the lawn. So if you're wanting to get a head start on weed control this year for the lawn, pre-emergent is a good way to start. I'll show you what we got over here. So most homeowners go with, well, there's Callie. Most homeowners go with a granular product like this. So this is something you can put out and it's going to create a barrier on top of the soil that will help prevent those weed seeds from coming up. So we've got that going, but anytime, usually we say till later in January to start on pre-emergent, but or even February, but with as warm as it's been, you can go ahead and start getting it down now. Another thing to be mindful of are, if you are getting your vegetable gardens prepped, there are things to do now for getting your veggie garden going. So if you're wanting to start seeds, you can start your leafy green seeds. So things like lettuce, cabbage and kale, Brussels sprouts, collard greens, mustard greens, all that stuff. If you like to grow from seeds, can be planted from seed now. Start them indoors, and then over the next month or so, you're going to be transitioning those outdoors. Even things like broccoli, cauliflower, those, if you are a seed grower, you could start those seeds now. It's still a little early for say carrots. Carrots are something that you don't really start indoors. You're better off sowing them directly outdoors. I'd still probably wait a couple more weeks before you do carrots outdoors. Same with radishes and beets. Wait a couple weeks on those. For Callie's back. For onions, it is almost time to get onions planted. We are going to be bringing in our first shipment of onions on Tuesday, probably Tuesday. For those that want to grow onions, I would still recommend you wait another couple of weeks, but some people are antsy to get the onions in the ground, so we do bring them in for those that are early onion planters. It is still too early to plant potatoes. I've seen someone here locally already advertising seed potatoes. It is too early to put those in the ground because you don't want to get them in too early, because potatoes are, well, the foliage of them are like tropical plants, because the foliage is very sensitive to frost. So if you're thinking, hey, it's warm, it's been a mild winter, let me go ahead and get potatoes in the ground, you can, but it's a bit of a risk, because if it's warm enough and it causes them to sprout and then they've got foliage up above the ground, then it's gonna, if we do get cold in February, which oftentimes we do, usually we do get cold in February, it's gonna knock that potato foliage back. So you're better off waiting until February to plant those potatoes. But you always have to watch the weather. My typical vegetable planting schedule for onions and potatoes is onions in late January, potatoes after Valentine's Day. Someone was asking about trimming roses back. Once again, you got to watch the weather. But for us in North Texas, Valentine's Day is about a good time to prune your roses back. And this is for your hard pruning, so your severe pruning. So if you're wanting to cut roses back pretty far, which is good for them, then after Valentine's Day here in North Texas. If you live in other parts of the world, typically you cut your roses back about a month before your last hard frost. So figure out your last hard frost date and then cut your roses back around that time. Callie's here again. What do you want? Other things that you got to do in the garden right now: prep your soil for your vegetable garden beds or for your landscape beds. Now, with the mild winter that we're having, it's still a great time to plant trees and shrubs. So you're not too late if you want to plant fruit trees. If you want to get some shrubs in the ground, trees in the ground, it's still a great time to do that. In fact, the longer you wait, the worse it gets. So if you're thinking to yourself, I do need to get some fruit trees planted, but I want to wait till spring, that is the wrong idea, because when you wait until spring to get those trees planted, what happens right after spring is summer. And summer is the most stressful time for your newly planted trees and shrubs. So if we sell more trees in April than any other month, but that's just because that's when we're busiest here in the nursery. But April's not a great month to buy trees. So that's why we've been preaching forever to get your trees planted in fall or winter. Because if you buy a tree in April, here in Texas, a lot of times in May, we're already hitting 90, 100 degrees. And that can be really stressful for those newly planted trees. And then June, July, and August come around, and that is the most stressful time for newly planted trees. So by planting in fall and winter, you're giving those trees and shrubs a chance to get rooted in before the stressful summer comes around. All right, today we've got, if you're free, we've got a kids class, which is the bird feeder, bird painting, what's wrong with me? Birdhouse and bird feeder build and paint class this morning. Or not this morning, it'll be this afternoon. I can't think straight. Let me drink some more coffee. So anyway, there's a children's class going on today where you can bring your kids, bring your grandkids, and build a birdhouse or bird feeder, build it and paint it. So that'll be going on at 2 o'clock today. It's $20 per participant. So parents don't have to pay. If you've got non-participating kids, they don't have to pay. So it's just whoever gets one of those kits, it's $20, and then they'll get to make it, paint it, take it home. Today is also National Houseplant Appreciation Day. Thanks for the reminder, Felicia. So we are not in Utah. Someone's asking if we're in Utah. We are in Texas. So I'm walking out here to the houseplant greenhouse because it's Houseplant Appreciation Day. And let me flip this camera around so you guys can actually see. Bear with me. Camera. I gotta turn 3 phones around. What's wrong with this? Oh, camera's covered up. What? Sorry. One more phone to flip around. Don't leave. Okay. All right, so everybody should be able to see. Fish are hungry. So it's Houseplant Appreciation Day. We appreciate houseplants around here. Look at that. And we've got a really nice selection of houseplants right now in stock, and I have more coming on Tuesday. So if you're wanting to get, January is a great time to be getting houseplants because it's cold outside. So a lot of people transition to their indoor gardening in January and focus on houseplants. So we got a lot of good ones in stock right now, more on the way. We'll have some good Valentine's type plants coming up. We're clearing for more houseplants that are on the way. Look at these beautiful bromeliads. That's one of my favorites. Got a nice morning glow coming in. Anyhow. So come out and see us today for Houseplant Appreciation Day. Get you a new houseplant. Or you could wait till later this week when we get some more stuff, some new stuff. A lot of great options out there. Another thing regarding houseplants is next week we have a class all about houseplants. So it's going to be about houseplant care. So that's January 18th. Right there, if you can see that flyer. So January 18th, we're going to be teaching a class about how to take care of your houseplants. Hey, there's Sylvester. What are you doing? What are you all worked up about? No, don't eat that. It's not for eating. So yeah, if you've struggled to keep houseplants alive, then make sure you sign up for that class, Happy Houseplants. That is at 2 o'clock on January 18th, so next Saturday. Or is that Sunday? That is Sunday, next Sunday at 2 o'clock. Happy Houseplants. So you're going to learn how to properly take care of houseplants and keep them alive and be the best plant parent you can be. Also, on that Saturday, the 17th, there is a bird feeding class coming up. So we got a lot of events coming up. You can see there on the calendar. You can see them on our website. And those are going to be good for learning more about gardening, learning about bird feeding, learning about houseplants. And there will be more coming up in February, too. We're working on our February schedule. So I want to come out here for a minute because we have some new things in stock that just came in yesterday for you to check out. One, we've got some gorgeous primrose. So primrose is a good one that could be grown indoors or outdoors. It's a frost tolerant annual. So this is your early spring, late winter color, and they are just so cute. Lots of different colors. So you can put these in combos. You can put them in a windowsill. You can grow them as a standalone. There's Sylvester following us out here. What are you doing? So they're just a fun one for early spring to get you some nice color and get you thinking about spring right now. So we got a bunch of different colors of primrose in stock now. Now along those same lines, we've got cyclamen is also a frost tolerant annual. These just came in yesterday. So you can put these outdoors, and even with this temperature getting down into the 30s, they're going to be fine. Or they can be grown as an indoor houseplant. So another really versatile plant there. And they're just so pretty. There's nothing quite like a cyclamen bloom. Look at these pinks. We also got some frost-tolerant vegetable plants, cool season veggies. I'll kind of run down this row for you. Cabbage, Brussels sprouts. Don't open that one, it's too cold out there. Cabbage, Brussels sprouts, collard greens, a couple different types of kale, or maybe just one type of kale. No, that's a mix of kale. Broccoli, two types of broccoli, lettuce, a couple different mixes of lettuce. They look really good. Mustard, artichokes. We don't get artichokes a lot. And then I've got two types of spinach and rumex. So these are cold tolerant vegetables. So those can be put out right away. And then if we happen to get a bad cold snap, then you can cover them. So freezing weather is going to be fine. It's just going to be if we're getting into like the low 20s that you would want to cover those. But they could be planted outdoors now with no problem. You'll see a lot of empty space in here right now, and that's because we're in a transition time from winter to spring. So we still have our winter annuals out over here. So snapdragons, violas, pansies, pretty much all we have left for winter plants. But over here, we're actually going to be using this greenhouse space for growing some of our spring plants, because we will run out of growing space in our production area soon, because we're planting like crazy. I think we got in somewhere around 10,000 plants to be planted just this week alone. And a lot of those are here. So we've got some young purple fountain grass here. We've got some perennials also over here that have just been planted. So we're going to be using this greenhouse space as an overflow space that's normally retail area, but we're going to be using it for some of our production area for perennials. Just take advantage of the warm greenhouse. Oh, someone on TikTok is saying that they had some vegetable starts and mice were squeezing through the fence and eating them. That is a tough predicament. The only thing you can really do would be to do a better physical barrier, like netting or something, or they can chew through netting. But hardware cloth is another one. It's like a wire mesh that you can put around. Of course, a determined rodent could climb over it. So you may need to do some trapping or think outside the box to keep rodents away from your vegetable plants, or get you a cat that actually does its job. Some cats do their job. So yeah, we're in a transition time in here where we're going to be filling up a lot of our retail space for production. Now, speaking of production, I'm going to run back here real quick and show you what's going on in the back. We got just a couple minutes before we do our staff meeting. Oh, another exciting thing, we got our rose shipment in, but I'm not going to walk out there today. But if you check out our pages, you'll see some posts we made about the roses. The bare root roses that we got in. All right, it's cold out here. Let's get in here where it's warm. So a little spring preview back here. Once again, lots of empty space, but it will not be long, and all these tables are gonna fill up with all of our spring production. They're already starting to. for example, we've got our patio geraniums in here. So these are going to be the big baskets of geraniums. We've got hanging baskets already started. So we've got some geranium hanging baskets. We've got some calibrachoa that are already blooming. How pretty are those? And looks like some petunias. Or no, those are calibrachoa also. We do have some petunias blooming over here. Starting to bloom. Boy, the heater's running this morning. Feels good. And then we'll peek on the other side over here. So we got a lot going on here. All right, I'm setting my coffee down right there. Don't let me forget it, people. Some of our perennial production is over here. Some of our tropical production is over here. This heater is not working. Great. But we've got our mandavillas growing here. We've got some esperanzas. We've got a bunch of geraniums planted. These are our 6-inch geraniums. Probably got somewhere north of 6,000 geraniums planted already. Those are all planted from cuttings. And then I'll show you, we have a lot more plants to plant. So these are all shipments of plugs, baby plants that we're going to be planting. So, for example, here's a dichondra. These are going to get planted up this week. They just came in. We have some sweet potato that's going to get planted up right here. More sweet potato. So a lot of our spring babies are already here. Look at those coleus. They're so cute. Got more perennials over here as well. Coral bells. These perennials are going to be going into gallon-sized containers. That heater's working properly, but one of them is not. All right. So just wanted to give you a little preview back here. I'm gonna grab my coffee and then we'll head back up front because I gotta get to our staff meeting as well. We do a Saturday morning staff meeting and kind of go over things that are happening. But yeah, the planting crew has been hard at work getting stuff planted this week and put out into the greenhouse. So, little taste of spring back here. Even though it's January, the work never stops here. Getting ready for spring. So, yeah, it's a fun time. So yeah, if you can join us for our little birdhouse class today at 2 o'clock. That's a fun one. We still have some spots available on that. And then next weekend we've got the bird feeding class and the houseplant class. Heaters are kicking on in here again. Come on, son, warm it up in here. What are you doing? Hey, you need to come up to the meeting, Sylvester. It's almost meeting time. So yeah, hope to see you in here this weekend. this week as we enjoy the slightly warmer winter than we normally have. So appreciate you joining this morning. We're going to let you go. We're going to get to our meeting, and hope you have a great day.